Hi everyone. So I wanted to do a very quick video on price because I get asked quite a lot, why is doTERRA so expensive? And certainly that was a question that I asked right at the start of my doTERRA journey. Because when you look at a 15 ml bottle like this, and then you look at the price, you feel like actually, whoa, that's actually quite a lot of money. But for me, I think the better question is it expensive or is it good value? Now, one of the reasons doTERRA costs more is because of the quality standards, because of the purity behind the oils. And actually, I've made a whole separate video explaining why purity matters. So I don't want to repeat all that again here. Go check that video out if you're interested in that. But in short, doTERRA, invest heavily in sourcing, testing, and being really transparent around all of the oils. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I use them. And like I say, all of that info's in another video ready for you to watch. I think the other thing to realise is when you're looking at a 15 ml bottle like this, you don't think it, but there's actually 250 drops in one of these 15 ml bottles. And because of the purity, because of the potency of doTERRA oils, you only need 1 or 2 drops at any time. So when you break that down per use, price per use, price per drop, PPD, it often works out to only a few pence. And then I think what you also need to think about is how many ways that you can use doTERRA oils. They are very, very versatile oils. So take lavender, for example. You could use that in a diffuser, in a roller blend. In skincare, you can put that in some moisturizer to help skincare. It's brilliant for that. As a pillow spray or just as part of a nighttime kind of chill out evening routine. So you're not just buying one product for one purpose like we do with lots of other things in our lives. These oils are really versatile. So what you're doing is you're buying something that's really concentrated that you can use over and over again in different ways. And like I say, because you only need a tiny amount, the bottles actually last a long time, and much longer than people expect. I've had some bottles that have lasted months and months. So I think people, that's another way to think about the price. So yes, doTERRA can look expensive when you only look at the bottle price, but then when you take into account the quality, the cost per use, how long they last, and the versatility, and the fact that you can reach them from in a lot of parts of your everyday life, I personally see them as good value. I also think it's about perspective. So we live in a world where people regularly spend money on the daftest of things, and there's no judgment here. I absolutely spend a lot of money on a lot of stuff, but it's what people enjoy, it's what's important to them. So whether that's the latest phone, whether it's designer makeup, whether it's computer games, Pokemon cards, coffees in the morning before work, meals out, or whatever that next big thing is, there's nothing wrong with that. We all choose what we want to invest in. For me, I would rather invest in myself now. I've looked at everything that I've gained from these oils, the confidence they give me, the routines I've built my life around now, and the way that they've absolutely fitted within everyday life, the support that they're providing me day to day, whether that's emotionally, my gosh, I've had a lot of emotions. Me and Balance have been through a lot of things, whether that's physically, I've got needed support around aches and pains, it's really helped me there, and energetically as well. I really have got so much support from these oils over the last year or so. So taking all that into account, the price of one bottle doesn't feel expensive when I look at it with that different lens, with that different perspective. For me, it's an investment in my health and well-being, and honestly, that's pretty priceless. Like if I can get a bit of support out of a drop of Balance, then that is priceless. So if you're wondering whether doTERRA is too expensive, my advice would be don't just look at the bottle price, look at the quality, have a look at the small print on the bottles, look at the transparency reports that doTERRA provide, look at the cost per use, look at the versatility of the oil that you're buying, look how often you're actually going to use it, and then decide for you whether or not it is good value. For me, it definitely is, and I'd love to share more of that with you as time goes on. So I hope that's helped. Any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.